On the last episode that we actually started working on things. Actually, on the last episode, you watched bars for 30 minutes, which was super exciting. We had a race between bars. You missed the bar race.
Were you saying that there was a race war?
There was a race? No, not. No, it's not a race war. It's not a race condition either. Race conditions.
Race conditions.
All right.
There was a race condition.
Was there a race?
You know, you brought up .NET.
Oh, yes, that's right. It couldn't complete until the .NET install. Okay, press play.
Okay, I'm
All
done.
right. So on our last episode, we didn't change really anything with the game. All we did is we made the game playable via touch, and I don't have my thing hooked in to actually prove that, so we're not going to prove it. But yes, we can use Unity Remote, or if we were to build this on our particular platforms, which I haven't shown you how to do yet, we would have touch support at this point. We will do platform building starting next week. So right now, you'll just have to take my word for. Actually, we can show it in the editor. So if we click here, and then we click left or right on the screen, you can see that it actually moves. And this is the stuff that we did last time. So
it's a little. The fog's reactive to the music.
Yeah, you hadn't seen that, had you?
I didn't see that part.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, bam, I'm dead. All right, cool. It's a game. All right, so we're gonna go to we're gonna probably be on the title screen for today because we're doing menus or menus, as it's actually pronounced. So what are we gonna do here? So we should probably have a button on the screen here that says like new game, and then we should probably have a button that says like options, as opposed to just having it where if you touch anywhere, it just plays a game. And so that's what we're going to work on today. So what we're going to do is we already have some touch code built in, and it also includes clicking code. So we're going to basically use that to make things happen. So I'm going to reorganize this screen a little bit. Let's create. We need a box. We need some sort of button. Because a cube could be a button.
Cube could be a button.
Yeah.
My game cubes are buttons.
Here, let me actually see if we got. Let's check out Open Game Art. Let's check to see if they got some buttons. Now that we know how to license things, let's license something. So let's see buttons. Let's see what we get. Buttons. Touch button and
that's exactly
simple
what
buttons and orbs, orbses and buttonses. This does look delightfully old school.
Yeah, it does.
It even says menu or minus.
Mina.
No,
Mina. Yeah, okay. Mina.
Menu.
Nanu. All right, so they already have the words on them, so we could just that's not great that they already have the words on there, but it excuses us to do some image editing, some very light stuff. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take up the challenge. So I'm going to take this menu button. And we're going to open up GIMP. So let's just put this on our desktop
PNGs
first.
That they have, or do they have something that might have layers?
They're all PNGs. License CC by SA. Share, adapt, any purpose. You have to give appropriate credit. Doesn't say how we want to give the credit here. Doesn't say, so I guess we just put the author and I don't know if I want to go through the work right now. Simple buttons, so this one under, yeah. Let's just make a cube, whatever. I'm just gonna do a cube. Create cube. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and create a directional light now, too, because we kind of need one now. And we're going to make this cube thing. It's going to be all depthy. So we're going to move this down somewhere. It's going to be like a button that's like about here or something. I'm just going to make it a little wider and make it a little bit, we want nice finger buttons, I guess. So let's grab some of this text. Let's grab the high score. Actually, let's do one that doesn't have special code on it. So I think press start is a good. We're gonna do Command D or for duplicate. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I don't know where it is.
It's not funny. Okay, it's a little funny. All right. What are we going to do? We're going to say start game with an exclamation point. And we're going to actually make it say start game with an exclamation point. And we're going to move this up a little bit. So one of the things that's interesting is text, the default shader on it, doesn't really pay attention to depth. As you can see, this cube is way in front of the start game, and yet when we're in the game view, we can see it. It sometimes pays attention. It's a little weird, but yeah. So I'm actually going to leave this at 0. Where's our cube? I'm going to actually move our cube back so it is behind it, just in case we do change some things later. So let's do -0.5. And then let's line it up with our game thing and then make it appropriately large. So something like this, and maybe a little bit wider.
You got a Vanguard V thing.
So awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. And so we're going to call this button. We're going to call this start button. And actually, I'm going to put start game text is what I'm going to call this text. And we're going to put this as a child at start button so that we know that that's grouped together. So that way, if we need to move things around, it just, we just select it and we move it around. It goes as a single thing. Although,
since we have perspective, we aren't using isometric cameras for this.
Hold on, scene. I thought I had lined this up properly, but I evidently did not. Okay, I lined it up the wrong direction. So we want to do plus
just
0.5.
Wait, what now?
Oh, wait, no.
What are you moving?
Moving the wrong thing.
You want to move the child object.
0.5. Yeah, I know. Hold on. Give me a second. -0.5. I just want to get it right where we were before. We want to move the child object forward, and then we move the whole thing backwards. So the child object will go to -0.5. There we go.
This is all very confusing.
Is it?
I don't know.
And then we move this back to 0. No. To -0.5.
No, positive
0.5. 0.5. There we go.
That was
so
very confusing.
Now if we move this up and down, it'll move up and down, and the text stays in generally the right place. Though we do need to make it a little wider. Oh, but we don't want to. Oh
make
no!
This wide.
No! Scaling is horrifying. Oh, yeah. 0.1. 0.1. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, scaling is horrifying.
So we're going to move this out. We're going to scale it to 0.1 and 0.1. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the start button thing here. I'm going to call this start button. And we're going to create a new empty game object called start button that has a scale of 1 that we're not going to give to our children. We're not going to give our children a hard time with our scales. We're going to put start button and start game text in there. And is this actually positioned in a good way? No, it's positioned in a terrible way. Let me move these out one more time. One more. No, not in the game manager. Somewhere else, anywhere. All right. Start button. We want this to be in the same location as... I actually want it to be... Let's copy the text, the start game text. Copy. We're going to copy the transform component. Then we're going to paste it into our thing there, and then we're going to finally put start button and press start or start game text. What?
Change the scale back to 1.
Scale is the scale's not 1. How did that happen? Oh yes, you're right. So thank you for catching that. We want the scale to be 1 on this. Then finally, we put, after all of that, we put these things in here, and now we can keep...
Title text?
No, that's the wrong thing. Start button. There we go.
Really?
Start button? That's the wrong thing too. We want start button and start game text on the start button. All right, we're done. We did it. Save scene. Save project.
Buttons aren't toys.
Source tree. We did it. Buttons.
Buttons aren't toys.
Buttons aren't what? Buttons aren't toys. There you go.
Yes, they are.
So now if we go into the game and we move this thing up and down, it looks good, and yay. And now we can scale things nicely, so we can do the start button and make it wide enough. And I'd say it's looking pretty good right now. So we got a button. And now we don't need to have the press any key to start, actually. We can get rid of that load level on any key. I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to get rid of the...
Oh, interesting.
Press any key to start.
Someone checked the files on there, and give on triggers on trigger function is called right at the start. Ground is the culprit triggering it. Apparently there's no tag or layer attached to it.
Yeah, there's not any of those.
But
and yeah, we're having that problem on Windows.
That's
yeah,
the Windows
so
problem.
We will probably fix that on a Windows episode, and I apologize that you're having a problem. What I would suggest is moving it down just slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Just move it down slightly.
We had that problem on Mac, too, when we introduced the second ground.
Well, yeah, but that one was actually
Grid,
intersecting with it as opposed to one that's not really supposed to be intersecting with it. And it actually kind of scares me, honestly, that it doesn't work on Windows and does work on Mac at that.
Because there's
that difference shouldn't really be there, but it is. So, where is it? Press start. We're going to get rid of, delete this. There we go. And what else?
There's one thing you can do is fake an isometric camera in perspective mode and turn on the FOV really low, or is it really high? I forget. It's one of those two. You can actually have a second camera that's isometric if you really want a flat menu made with 3D objects. You can absolutely do a second camera. They can both render at the same time.
Yeah.
You can only just have a sound outputting from one of them, though.
Inputting from one of them at least.
Inputting. But it'll throw a ton of errors if you have them both with a...
It's just like one error.
It's
just like
tons of errors.
One error.
So many errors.
Isn't it an error every frame?
For multiple audio listeners? I don't think it is. Maybe it is. You want to find out?
No.
Create. Camera. Play. There are 2 audio listeners in the scene. Oh yeah, it just does it every frame. It just spams the heck out of that. All right, cool.
I thought that was the case.
Delete. We don't want the camera.
But yeah, that's another way you can do the UI stuff if you want to just have your UI off the screen.
Yeah.
So we need a on trigger load level script on the start button.
Yes. So what we're going to do is scripts. We're going to create a C# script. We're going to call it load level untouched. That's what we're going to call it.
Ew.
And load level untouched is going to take a moment for monodevelop to load. Move. Thank you. So now we're going to go to load level untouched, and we're going to do one of those thingies. And public string level name equals. I'm not going to give it a default value. I'm just going to say level name. And we're going to go and get rid of these things. We don't need either of them. We're just going to put void touched, because remember we have that detect clicks and touches that sends this message to things that you touch. And we're going to say application dot load level name. And I'm going to undo that, whatever. And save. And now we're going to put this on our start game button. So the start button, we'll have that on there.
Button.
And we're going to say it should load up level 1. So now if we hit save and save project, and then we hit play. So now I can hit things on the keys. It doesn't go to the game. I can click whatever. It doesn't go to the game. But if I click on start game, nothing happens. Sweet. So there's a reason for that, because we don't actually have the thing that detects and touches on anything. So we're going to create a empty game object. We're going to call it, what did I call this? Touch manager. Put it up here, I guess. And we'll put a game manager up here too, so that we just know the manager's up here. Not inside of it, just up. Where did the game manager go? There it is. Alright. And so the touch manager needs to have detect clicks and touches and clicks, sorry. Not clicks and touches and clicks. We're going to hit play. Then we're going to click start game, and there we go, and we have a game and we can play. So we have a button that does something. And it is that button that's doing it. So cool. We've taken our first step into a larger world, including menus, or menus.
Menus.
What do we want to do? So how about we make a... I don't really want to do an options screen just yet because we'd have to like have options. I'd feel obligated to put actual options in it.
Yeah.
So how about we do a high score system? How about, because that sounds like some fun. We haven't done something like that before, and so let's just make a high scores thing. So instead of just having one high score, we'll have a whole bunch of high scores. So what are we doing? We're gonna go to, this may be harder than I initially thought, but
it will be.
Yeah, it will be.
It will be. Mark my words.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the previous score and high score stuff here. And yeah, let's get rid of it. Just get rid of it. And we're gonna make this mega game now. Let's make the tiles text bigger. Let's just start.
Whoa.
Let's go twice as big. Make a game now. We should have a better name for this. I'm gonna give it a better name for right now. We'll just change the name a few times, but let's call it Grid Cruiser. There we go. We've got a name now. Grid Cruiser. Working title. There we go. Grid Cruiser.
It could
Working
be.
tile.
It could be.
Tilta. I like to say Tilta. Title.
Could be like
Put a return in there. Can I do
pillar
that?
grid.
There's some way to put an enter in here, I swear.
Really? I didn't know that.
I don't know, maybe there's not. Maybe I'm a liar.
I think there is, because you can. I think you can put a string in there from script that will have enters.
Yeah, I mean, you can... I swear there was a way to do it here.
That I'm not. Well, there probably is, because otherwise it wouldn't.
All right, let's look. Insert a line break unity text mesh. In inspector, there you go. Making new line in inspector. Copy and paste return character. Alt and enter suggested by the reference manual. So it doesn't work. Alright, so we have to copy, well, just, okay, fine. I'll just copy, and paste. There we go.
Wow.
Roundabout method, but it does work. So, let's get rid of that new line that I didn't want there, save it. And, so, Grid Cruiser, working title, start game. Let's, duplicate our start button. Let's create something called a, high scores button. And, start button, and this one's going to be called high scores button.
More buttons.
And high scores text. And
Fiesta.
this is going to say
Is that supposed to be a high scores button?
scores. What? What's supposed to say button? Oh, it is supposed to say
Not
button.
that one, the
Oh
child.
yeah, the child. All right. High scores button.
Mango Fiesta.
Stop advertising the Taco Bell Mango Fiesta.
I'm not advertising it. I just like saying it.
All right, cool. Stop it though.
Why? You
Oh.
can't stop.
I'll never stop.
Oh, that
All right.
video is
That
awesome.
video is awesome. All right, so I'm going to just move Kevin MacLeod a little bit lower. What is it? Music credits, and we'll just go there. 4.5. I like those numbers. All right, cool. Grid Cruiser, complex. We got start game. We got high scores. Right now, if you click high scores, it'll probably take you to the game because.
I think the button should be wider.
Yeah, I think you're right. So we'll go to our two buttons and we'll make them wider. We'll make them 6. There. Is that better?
Yes.
Does that appeal to you?
Yes.
All right. So now we need a high score screen. So let's create a high score screen. We're going to create a new scene. Yeah, I guess it's in here. New scene. And we're going to hit save on the title screen, and we've got a new scene. We're going to save the scene before we do anything else. And
call it high scores.
Yeah, high scores. We're going to put it into our scenes folder, save. I'm going to go ahead and save scene, save project real quick, and we're going to check in what we got. Prep for high scores system. Push commits immediately to origin.
Go!
I'm probably going to be opening Pandora's box here with the high scores, but we'll see what happens.
I would agree.
So,
how many high scores are we going to show?
We're going to show 5.
I think 5 is appropriate.
5.
That's kind of the direction I was going to go.
Yeah, because they're only
going to be local high scores.
They're just going to be local high scores. We're going to go ahead and just make this background black for right now. We're going to...
Taco Bell should advertise Vanguard V.
Yeah, seriously.
For the mango thing.
Yeah. That would be awesome. So we're going to create a... we're going to create a 3D text. We're going to make it not terrible by making it font size 100. And then make it 0.1, 0.1, and 0.1. And we're going to make it so that it is... I like to have things centered, so middle center and center. And then we're going to put it, so it's centered on the X, we're going to put it on the Y. Let's put it, let's first just say high scores. High scores. And we're going to put this at the top here. We're going to make it at 5.5. And we're going to call this high score title. And we're going to duplicate it, and we're going to call this score 1. And all it's going to say is 1 point, and we're going to move it down. Actually, yeah, we'll just keep it centered. If we don't have, it'll just look kind of ugly if we don't have scores for right now. We're going to see how much I can make Phil hurt.
About what?
About layout.
Why would you make me hurt about layout? I'm so confused.
I don't know. Because it's going to look bad.
Is my OCD going to freak out?
It might just do it. So 2.
Are they just going to sit in the center?
3.
It starts.
It starts. It begins. 4 and 5.
Are they seriously just going to sit in the center of the screen?
Yeah, why not?
What?
Looks perfect.
No!
Looks so good.
No!
Put them on the left, anchor right, and then put the high
No, that would be too
scores
much work.
on the right.
Way too much
anchor
work.
left.
I agree.
Alright, so this one's at 3.5. This one's at 2. This one's at... So this one should be at, actually, 0.5. Somewhere lower, -5.
I guess the center
Yep.
would work.
We'll make it better, don't worry.
No, it's fine.
2.5. It's fine. All right, so what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to put in some zeros.
We're going to have leading zeros on our high scores?
Maybe. We'll see.
I don't think leading zeros should exist on the high scores.
Why not? I like leading zeros. It's like old school. All right, we don't have to have leading zeros. So how about I just make them spaces then?
Okay.
Wait, that doesn't work.
Nope.
So
I think they should probably... Oh,
it's interesting.
That's an interesting
Yeah.
way of handling that. That's not what I would have expected.
All right, I'll just go ahead and we'll fine. We'll do it. Middle left. Do that on all of these. Middle left. And we'll move them over to a appropriately appealing appropriately appealing section here. We're not going to type in our names. We're just going to have scores. So
Yeah, I think
We want
scores
the
are
anchor on the
appropriate.
right, don't we?
why would we want the anchor on the right? Hold on. No, we want it on the left, so that when we type, when
okay.
say we get a score, it goes 1.0.
Yeah, never mind. I was
Yeah, this
thinking
is
we were gonna do
perfect.
it
This is
differently.
perfect. That's
Alright, cool.
fine. This appeals to me.
All right. So we got high scores. We're going to need a back button. I'm going to go ahead and save scene, save project. We're going to go back to our previous screen, the title screen, and I'm just going to copy the start button, and we'll go back into our high score screen and paste it in here. Just paste it in here. And we're going to add a light, another default light, directional light, and we will put a little... that's not what I want to move. I don't care about the light. Why do I care about the light?
Do you care about the light?
The light 0. I want this to be... So we want this to be somewhere appropriate.
Probably at the bottom of the screen.
Bottom of the screen? Okay.
Yeah, so it's out
You
of
don't
the
think
way
it should
of the
be
high scores.
bottom left?
The
or
unfortunate part
shouldn't be anything like that? Or
no, because
yeah.
then you might get off screen on some
This
devices.
This is true.
The numbers should be tighter together.
Yeah,
then.
or just move them up.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
I'm just going to put them in the start button for right now and move the start button up. Does that look good? Oh wait, we don't want to get rid of the start button.
Why don't we just have less blank space between each one of them?
We could.
I think that would look better with the start button where it is.
Okay. Noted. And this one's going to not be called start button. This is going to be called back button. Back button. And back button button. And back text. Back text. Back. Alright. So we've got a basic high score list. So now we have to actually save high scores. And we have to...
We have to only save 5 of them.
We only have to save 5 of them, but we have to save 5 scores. And, what else?
Let's tell the back button to go back to the...
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Title screen.
It's a good idea. So we're going to go to the back button, and we're going to tell it title screen. And we're going to hit save and save project, and we're going to hit play, and we're going to go, we go back.
Oh, we need the button, input thing.
You're right, thank you.
Oh my god.
We need to manage our touches.
Yes, we need to manage those touches.
tweeted about Vanguard V.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Oh, I'm excited.
That just happened.
Yeah. How do I do things? That got me so excited that I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
You want to check Twitter, don't you?
I do. I'm going to resist. Create other particles. Create a folder. What's a folder? No. What are we doing? Empty game object. That's all we were doing. All right. We just want a new game object. We call this Touch Manager. And we're going to put our scripts, detect touches and clicks. We're going to move our Touch Manager up here. And we're going to go ahead and hit play. So now we hit back, and it goes back, and high scores goes to the game, so we need to fix that. So let's go to...
High scores goes to the game.
We're going to go to title screen, save. We're going to go to the high scores button, and we're going to change this to high scores. And we're going to add high scores to our build settings so that we can actually go to it. All right, cool. We're going to save project. Let's check to see if it works. Hit play. High scores goes to high scores. Back goes back. Although we've got the text here because it thinks we're in game as soon as we go into high scores. I told you that would bite us in the butt later. Right now, our game manager, it assumes that if we are so if load level name does not equal title screen name, we actually need to add another thing here. So or application.load level name. We'll put this on the next line. Does not equal. I'm hard coding it. High scores. I'm a terrible person. I'm gonna actually not hard code it. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. Title screen name and high scores screen name. Not to be confused with a screen name for your high scores.
Yeah, very different.
See, the capital N, that's how you know it's different, because otherwise it'd be like, it's a screen name. Alright, So save. We're going to go to high score. What am I doing? Oh yeah. Does not equal high score screen name. File save. And we're gonna hit play. High scores.
And
Still didn't work. Why didn't that work? Did I call it something else? I called it high scores. It's called... Oh, if it does not equal title screen name and does not equal high score screen name. We're gonna hit save, play. High scores, still no good. Oh wait, that's because there's one other place. There's one other place. So it's right down here. So we're just gonna go like that and put that down here as well. Oh, I didn't need that extra thing. So, hit save, play. High scores, back, yay, it looks right. Start game, game starts. Alright, cool, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Kill me. And then we're gonna go high scores, and we'll go back. Okay, everything's looking good. We're gonna save scene, save project. Good, we're going to check all this stuff in, and I'm totally going to see what that tweet was.
She says that this needs to be made.
Awesome. That's the best thing that anyone could possibly say. Thank you, Ego Raptor.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing? High score screen plus navigation between screens. Commit. Alright, now the challenging part, making a high score system. Since there's only five things, we can get away with a lot. One of the things that I would say that you would want to do if you were doing this for a larger score system, you'd probably want to actually have a serializer of some kind that can save data and stuff. We're not going to deal with a serializer, we're just going to have 5 slots in player prefs, and we're just going to address them like in switch statements or something. It's not going to be very fancy. So, what we're going to want to do right now is save high score and load high score. This is going to have to work a little bit differently. What we're going to want to do is we're going to have several high scores. Right now we've got, right now we just have a high score and a score. We're going to need to have several high scores. And actually I'm going to make it as an array. So we're going to do a private, static, float. Wait, no, the high score, this is the one that just, so this is just the one that we're storing. Let's not do it as a static. As a matter of fact, we don't even really need this one to be static anymore, do we? We might. I'm not going to change it, but I am going to make this different. So we're going to make a, how do we actually even get the high score currently? Oh yeah, we get it from the player prefs. Okay, cool. So, is that how we were? Yeah. But that's not how we get previous score. That's a different thing. All right. So I am going to Twitter. Sorry, I got to do it. Wait, do I not follow Ego Raptor?
I will just show it to you.
No, but I want to retweet him.
It's right there. See, retweeted by Philip Wilson, Aaron Hansen, Ego Raptor.
Oh, there we go. Yes.
See, this game is so rad. Please donate to this. Very. I don't know what it's supposed to click on that. Click on that thing.
Just play the rest of his tweet. No, okay, that goes to the game. That's awesome. And
Vanguard B.
All those go to the game. All right, so it's just linked like all over the place.
Yep.
View details. Donate to this very. Yes, donate to this very.
Yes, donate to it. Very.
Yes, donate to it very. Just like we were saying on the show, donate to it very. I will take it. That is so awesome.
Yeah, I thought you'd be happy about that. That's why I said it. I mean...
Yeah, that's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. Okay, so, start game. Alright. What are we doing? We're doing high scores, yeah. So, we're going to create a private... I'm just going to call it a private int array. High scores with an S, and we're going to set this equal to a new int, and it's going to be, we're going to support 5 high scores. Kind of debating whether I want to actually make this a list.
A list?
Yeah, let's just leave it as this. So equals new int 5. So we've got this high scores thing. When we load the high scores, we're going to say for int I equals 0. We haven't done a for loop on this show yet, on this mini-series at least. We've done plenty of for loops on the full show. But for loop is kind of like a for each loop. I didn't actually go over the for each. For each goes over like a list of things. For lets you specify an object and then what it does and what the criteria are. So here's the object is I. That's our iterator. And we're going to say as long as I is less than, we're going to call it high scores dot length, and then I plus plus. Note the semicolons and not the commas between these things. It looks a little strange because it looks like a function call, but it is not a function call. It is a built-in symbol. So don't do that to me. All right. So what we're going to do is for each of those things, we're going to say high scores I, so the ith item equals player prefs dot get int, and the int will be high score 1. Actually, high score plus, so high score plus I dot toString. And I am actually going to make it finally consistent here. We're going to say high score with the S there.
Parentheses on toString.
Thank you. Because it's a function call. Otherwise, it would have said that there's some problem. All right, and so that's what it's going to do when loading the high scores. We're going to get rid of the old loader thing. So that's the loading. And then the saving, we're going to do something very similar. I'm going to copy and paste this into here. And so save high score is actually going to be a little bit different, actually. What we're going to do is we need to figure out... Oh, yeah, we have to, like, order these things based on whether you did better than them. Yeah. All right, so for I equals 0, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to check high scores.
He did say this game is so rad, please donate to this. Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot.
Maybe we should just create a separate sort function.
A separate sort function? Yeah, we could probably create a separate sort function. I'm just going to inline it here for right now. What we're going to want to do is for int I equals 0, I is less than high scores dot length. If high scores I is less than high score, if it is less than high score, then what we're going to do is high scores. Okay, yeah, that's not going to work too well, is it? So we need to determine which one it's highest on. Why did I do something like this late at night?
I don't know.
Okay. All right, so we're going to first determine which score we're higher than. I'm going to do this the brute force way. This is probably could be optimized a lot more. So this is just, we're just going to determine...
It's like finding the heuristic.
The score we beat, if any. So for I equals 0, if high scores I is less than high score, then we're going to store this somewhere. We're going to say int slot, high slot equals, I'm going to say -1 to start. And then, so if high scores I is less than high score, we're going to say high slot equals I. All right. And then what we're going to do after this is we're going to do another for loop. As I said, this is inefficient probably. It's only going to be happening once, and when I say inefficient, like on a Commodore, this will run really fast. So, probably not true. I mean, like with all the C# stuff, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, int I equals 0, I is less than high scores dot length. We don't really have to go through the whole thing again, but I guess we could do I equals high slot. I is less than high scores dot length I plus plus. So this one just starts from the high slot, and what we're going to do is high slot plus 1. No. All right. We're going to do high scores dot length minus 1. Sorry, I'm just thinking ahead here. So we're going to do high scores I equals high scores I plus 1. So this is, wait, no, this is high scores I plus 1 equals high scores I. We actually want to go the other way, because we're bumping all of the scores down that we need to. High scores I. And then what we're going to do finally is high scores high slot equals high score. And we're going to have to do one more check here. If high slot does not equal -1, then we will do this. I think that'll do it. And then what we need to do is actually store all these into something. So this is actually determining the score we beat, and then save high score list. Oops. So this one will look just like this, except for backwards. So instead of high scores I equals player prefs on get int, it will be player prefs set int high score with the s here plus I dot toString, and we're going to set it to our we're going to set it to high scores I. And we don't even have to convert it to an int because they already are ints. And actually, because of that knowledge, I know that we're going to have to convert this to an int. And anything else we have to convert to an int? No. That should be good. And we will get rid of this line here. So in theory,
this may work.
This may work.
Isn't that going to write every slot with the same value?
It's going to write, so this is going to come in, say we have high slot equals 2. Let's say we got in second place. This is going to, I is going to be a, well, it's going to be 1 because it's actually the second slot, which is 1 in programmer speak. So in slot 2, it's going to grab whatever score is
in slot 1.
Wait.
No.
It's going to grab whatever. Yeah, we did this wrong.
It should be the other way around.
That's the way I was doing it originally, and why did I think that was wrong? High scores I equals high scores I plus 1. No, we don't want that, though. No, we want it the other way.
Do we? Why don't we see it working first, and let's see what happens.
Well, it's kind of hard to see this working right now. So, hold on. Let me just think this through. So, we're grabbing the one underneath, and we're putting it in that one, and then we're grabbing the one underneath and putting it... Yeah, that's right. That's right. This is right. I think this is right. This is probably wrong, but I think it's right. So, so let's give it a shot anyway. So, we're going to need some way to see this, though. So, first of all, I'm going to see if there's any errors so far? Nope, no errors. So at least the code is sound. It might not make any sense, but the code's sound. And we're going to create some display high score stuff. Actually, we're going to change our existing display high score. So now we're going to do, instead of, we're going to have the private string label, but we're going to have a public variable. Public int score slot is what I'm going to call it. And I'm going to default it to 0. And what we're going to do is, instead of player prefs get int high score, it's going to be player prefs get int high score plus score slot dot toString. Save. All right. So if we now go into our high score screen and we go to score 1 and through score 5, and we're going to add component display high score, and then score 1 is going to be score slot 0, score 2 is going to be score slot 1, score slot 2, score slot 3, and score slot 4. So let's hit play. Lots of zeros, that's good.
Yeah,
it's a good sign. I'm going to actually put some spaces on the put a couple spaces.
2 is perfect.
Think so?
Mm-hmm. It needs to be lined up.
Okay, so we hit play. There's our high scores. We haven't written any yet. So I'm going to go back. We're going to start game. High score.
We're just going to murder ourselves?
Yep, we're going to murder ourselves. Bam. All right. We're going to go high scores. All right, so yes, I think we did. I think you're right. I did something wrong in the logic here.
Wait, get another high score.
Okay, I'm gonna get another high score. Start game.
That will help us out, determining what's wrong.
Should I get a lower or a higher one?
Doesn't matter.
I'm not sure if I can get much lower.
Don't have it be the exact same though.
It's all
103, perfect. It's different. High scores 103. Okay.
Yeah, something went.
So something went wrong.
I think that the I+1 and I is correct. I think you have to decrement the loop.
Okay,
so
fair
that
enough.
you're not overriding the next thing before you get to it.
Oh yes, I'm actually affected. Oh yeah, that's probably something. So you think I should go I equals high scores dot length minus 1, or no, high scores dot length probably. Wait.
Dot length minus 1. Otherwise,
otherwise it'll be out of the array. So we're gonna just put this in here, and we're gonna put I is greater than score slot, high slot, and we don't want the minus 1 here, and I minus minus. Is that the theory? Save. Let's try it. Let's give it a shot. So, oh yeah.
You started it and then stopped.
Yeah,
tried to
got it. Laugh at me. All right. So we're gonna go in here. We're gonna die.
Score that's not 103.
104. All right. High scores. Still not looking so good.
So why isn't it starting with?
Do we need to decrement? Yeah, because you want the high score to be in the 0 slot, so the high slot that we're looking for should be decrementing also, starting at the lowest score and going up to higher scores.
Why is that?
Because you want it to bump down from the highest score that it's replacing. Otherwise, it goes through everything and says it's higher than each of them until it gets to the lowest score on the list, and it says it's higher than that as well.
Okay, so this is what I'm missing actually, is a break. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah. Okay. And do you think this is right, or do you think we need to go back to the other way? Because I think it should be the other way, but I'm going to hit save and let's see what's going on now. So, back, start game.
You can't die nearly quick enough in this game.
Yep. 104.
104.
All right.
Theoretically, it should still be in the same place.
Index out of range, except in index is out of range. We did something bad. All right. I'm going to go back to what I had before.
All right.
High slot. High plus plus. File save. Okay. Start game. High scores. 101. There we go.
Fantastic.
Start
Except for
game.
104 is down at the bottom right now.
Yeah, I know, which might cause our logic to break because our logic is assumes that the scores can't be in a bad order. But I'm curious what it actually does. So let's do a good score. 126. High scores. Still not right.
So it needs to... Oh, because it's overwriting the score before anything else happens. So it overwrote that one score in the first slot right there at the beginning, didn't it? Yeah, the very first
Plus
thing.
one.
Before that even it was overwriting it. So we don't even have that
Where
information.
did we override it?
We're overwriting it right here.
High slot equals high.
Isn't that it? No, that's not where we're actually
No.
writing to the high scores.
No.
Yeah, so
So let's do plus one. Let's see if it's an off by one thing. Play.
Jeez. It's too late for this to think about high scores.
I'm gonna come back to this later and gonna be like, oh, this is all wrong. This could have been easy. Actually, I think Jeffrey has already looked at me several times. He's like, you could have done this so much easier. You've done this so weird. High scores. I don't remember what I got, but that looks like it's in the right place.
It does.
103. So let's see if I can get a really high score. Let's go like
That's high enough.
150. High scores 153, 103.
We
Is
lost
that
the
right?
126.
We lost the 126, so that's wrong. Alright, rubber duck time. For int I equals 0 is less than high scores at length I plus plus. Let's say we're so 150 and it was like 120 or something. It's like if high scores I is less than high score, high slot equals I. So in this case, high slot would be 0. So high slot is 0. So I equals 1. I is less than high scores dot length minus 1. So 1 plus 1, so this is 2. So the second slot is equal to the first slot. Then the third slot is equal to the second slot.
Which is now equal to the first slot.
Sorry. Second slot is equal to the first... Second slot is equal to the first slot. Yeah, we are doing this in the wrong order. You're exactly right. Why were we getting the overrun before? Alright. High scores dot length minus 1. So we're starting from the end of it.
We should add a button to clear the player prefs.
So high scores dot length is minus 1. Actually, I think I'll just clear the player prefs when we save high score. Oh wait, no, that's probably a really bad idea. High scores dot length minus 1. I is less than or equal to less than
High scores dot line. Minus 1.
No, we don't want that. We want it to get the score slot, the high slot. High slot. But would it be high slot plus 1?
Greater than high slot.
I is greater than high slot. I plus plus, except for I minus minus. I just want to see what this does again. I think we're going to have the out of range exception again, but I'm going to give it a shot. Start. Actually, we're probably going to have a problem because we have that score at the bottom that's all messed up. We'll find out. 125. Yeah, we got an index out of range.
Oh, the I+1.
Is that what this -1 here is to protect, or?
But high scores dot length is outside of the array.
Oh, I know what the problem is. We need to do... Wait, high scores dot length is outside of the array? What does it end up becoming? So... Starts out as high scores dot length -1.
So the length is 5. -1 plus 1 is 5, which is outside of the array.
Oh, yeah.
So should it be +1? Or should it just be length?
-2 if we're doing I+1.
Okay. Save. I actually don't know why, but that's because my brain's not working right now. Sorry for the brainless episode on my part on this one. So, but even if your brain's not working, you can. If you have a Jeffrey with you, you can hammer through this thing.
I just hammer through it. I'm just like, what?
142 high scores. 142.
Yeah,
that looked right. So let's do one between
And it's
142.
It bumped all of the others off to
Perfect.
down, and it bumped the one that was
Which
in
is
last
what we
place
were
down.
hoping.
Let's
that
go
would happen.
slightly higher than 142. This high score, by the way, that we see there is not really the high score anymore, because we're working it differently now, but, well, this one's going to be higher than all of them, so this is 165, so this is higher than all of them.
Which
Looking
is right.
good.
Oh, wait,
no.
142's though.
Yeah.
So that's less or greater than high score. Let's see, we're off by 1. I is greater than a high slot +1, maybe, since we're doing I+1
Yeah.
inside of the...
Yeah, let's try that. Save. Apply. Back. Go. I'm going to get a score higher than everything and see if it does anything bad to our list first. $187. Alright. High scores. 187. No, we messed it up somehow.
I'm sorry, I don't have any ideas currently. My brain is dead.
Alright. So hold on, let me just think this through again. Hold on. So we got score. We want to put score. Take that score and put it into the next one down. Where's the next one down? We're putting that score into it. That score into it. We do have to do it backwards, so we're doing it backwards now. So we're high scores length -2. So, actually, let's try this. High scores length -1. High slot.
I and I-1.
Yes. Yeah, let's try that. I may need like a +1 or something there. Let's just see what this does first, though. Start game.
You're going to try to get the higher high score?
Yeah, I'm going to try and get the higher high score.
What was the previous one? 170 something? Or 180 something?
192, 187, 142, 142, 142. This is looking promising.
So
So
let's
start
get something
game.
that's higher than 142. But lower
152,
than
lower than 192. Roger. Alright. Bam, 161. It went away.
192 is there twice. Hang on.
This is a stupid bubble sort, and we're doing it terribly. Alright. I am going to change how we do this.
And I'm going to open up my
What are you
star.
opening up?
I do the same thing in A-star.
Oh, okay.
To determine the heuristic, the order that the nodes need to come in at.
Okay.
So
you look that up, and if I can solve it before then, I solve it before then. So,
yeah, I remember I had to make a sorted list manually.
So first of all, this high slot check should actually be here because we don't want it to fall off. All right. Is greater than high slot. Actually, let's do. What did we do wrong before? So wait.
Wait, that might have to be +1 because it looks like.
We're setting these right. Like maybe I'm doing something wrong here. Like sometimes you look too hard at one place, you don't notice a really stupid thing in another place. That looks right though. Wait, what does this get in? Okay. Why are we setting ints and then getting ints immediately after? What am I doing here?
Oh, that was copied over, probably, from the saving.
This is the saving, so that's
from the getting.
From the getting, got it. Okay. Getting, got it, good. I'm just going to run it again just in case that might have caused part of the problem. I don't think it did, but... So 192, 192, 187, 142. So I'm going to try to get above 142. Okay, 161.
Was higher than 142.
Right.
Alright, so now let's
now
try
you gotta
going...
get higher than 192.
Let's try to get one higher than 187, actually. Or either or, I'll take whatever I get. Alright. 192, 192, 187, 179, 161. This is looking right. Let's try a high score. And then let's clear the whole board and try it again. That's what we're going to do on the next one. Just make sure the thing's working right. This is looking promising. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and what are we going to do? I wanted to check... Oh yeah, let's reset our score. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to, on start here, we're going to do player prefs dot reset, no, dot delete all. File save.
I was using a dictionary to do it.
Play. Yeah, that's the cheaty way.
A list, actually. How is that a cheaty way?
I don't know. That didn't... Oh, wait, we didn't have a game manager in the scene. That's why it didn't reset. So, I'll just go back.
I don't think that's really cheating.
I know it's not really cheating. Nothing's cheating. We discussed that on an episode, actually. There's no such thing as cheating, but because it's all cheating, or it's not cheating at all. Alright, so we've got zeros, start game...
I use a list of nodes to generate.
104. High scores 104. Alright, start game. $101. High scores 104. Dang it! I'm done. All right, we're calling it. We'll fix this on the next shot.
That's a good call.
When we're less tired. All right. Just gonna check out what we got. Broken, stupid, bubble, sort, wannabe, high
Nonsense.
score, nonsense.
Thank
you. BS.
Okay, that works. I just like putting nonsense in things, so...
All right.